plot contrivances. Hey, what plot? Like the build from Perry. Hey, wait. Hold on a second. What am I
just
missing?
Making a joke where I'm just making a joke.
I know. I need to know what the joke is.
Oh,
the build from Payday where you drink liquor and don't take damage. Is that not how that works? If you don't feel it, it doesn't happen.
I mean, I feel like
I've drank enough liquor to know how that works.
I can't wait for Mental Health Month under this rule of physics. Because if I get drunk and know what depression is cured, everyone is hammered.
Did you not take the Iron Lung talent, if I remember correctly?
No, I don't have polio.
God damn. Not that. Wait, shit, it wasn't called Iron Lung.
No, it is actually called an Iron Lung.
No, I did not actually call the talent Iron Lung then.
I don't think
you called it Iron Stomach.
Thank you, Iron Stomach.
Iron Lung, and I'm like, that's...
Well, that just means you've got gallstones. Anyway, Iron Stomach basically is a unique talent for the quest log, which basically allows someone to consume large quantities of alcohol, food, and even spoiled goods without serious harm. You can actually resist the effects of poison if you're especially lucky. I see you looking at the talent tree right now, Tesher.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the party is basically being shipped off to the capital. We're going to skip past the getting on the ship and all that sort of stuff and start right as the party gets into the main capital. I need to read the chat first, though. Sweet liquor eases pain. Exactly. White gets it. He understands. What was the plot contrivance in this instance?
There wasn't one. It's not. There might be. I don't know. I'm just to create something artificially.
Well, I did basically give the villain dude a plot arm.
That's fine.
You have made me laugh so much in the last 10 minutes. I don't even think I'm in the headspace to do this show.
My apologies for making you enjoy more of life. Please refer back.
Dare you? You're killing the whole goth aesthetic.
Well, I'll try to tone down the.
You don't get hair this gray from happiness. Are you a blonde, Nim?
No, I have brown hair, blue eyes. Look into them.
Giant muscles.
Giant muscles, but I've definitely put on a little bit.
Yeah, a square jaw, giant suit of sparkling armor.
Chad,
I just want to punch, as Tony Stark would say, I just want to punch you in your perfect little teeth. Yeah, Nim is basically the Steve Rogers of this group.
I get that reference.
How am I supposed to
He's
fucking...
proving a point.
Yeah. Okay. God damn it. Oh. I'm just gonna have to kick Nim off the show, then we can actually go ahead and do this with a straight face. Oh, like when I get
Am I the lovable comedic relief?
I kind of thought, yeah, and Lottie's there to look cute.
I'm just oblivious to everything, basically.
Lottie is too pure for this
That's a
world.
mood.
Lottie is too pure for this world. There were people getting ready to murder us horribly. Lottie, waves high.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Oh yeah, for those anyone, if anyone in the chat needs some information on what happened before or to be filled in, just let us know now before we dig deep into the story. Okay, so as the events begin, we're already on the ship, moving from Fisherman's View straight to the capital city of Habante. I should probably send you guys a map of the world. This is for the chat as well, so that you can actually see like what we're working with. Maps for tonight's show. Quite easy for me to give you the link. So the continent of Arpegia is basically kind of like a 18th century Europe. If the EU had been invented like 300 years earlier. And here we go. This is the continent. If you look to the middle left, you'll see a small little place called Startland. That is where we began, and we are now moving from there. I advise you to save this, by the way. We are now moving from there to the capital city of Habante, where the Parliament has basically insisted that we have to present them with the book, because the appearance of this artifact has basically coincided with the sudden explosion of strange obelisks around the world, seem to have some sort of transportation powers. That feel free to interrupt me at any time, Nim. You can just say that straight.
I want the. I didn't know the chat clicked on that as well. I just want to be like, that's a very good piece of art.
That is very good map.
Yeah.
All credit to that goes to my nephew Aaron for developing this. Dude runs his own campaigns.
It is a really dope map.
Yeah, and that's
good.
Just FYI, that's just the left half. There's also the right half, which we still need to fill in. That's where some of the other races are. This isn't the whole map. This is just what we're going to be working with for the next couple of weeks. And we have an organization known as Treats. They are basically phrase I'm looking for here, responsible for this concept I know nothing about, responsibility. They're basically responsible for looking after the ownership and preservation of any sort of artifact that might be extremely powerful, because many hundreds of years ago there was a massive battle. You'll see down there, Dragon's Stand. The whole land is charred and red, and that is where the last known dragon in the world was basically killed. And the humans have spent thousands of years basically being this warring tribe, and they were absolutely decimated in this location. And that's what eventually led to the establishment of Parliament, to basically rein in these destructive tendencies that humans were committing on the continent. And a lot of that was due to basically the overuse and exploitation of dangerous skills and artifacts. It's not okay for super powerful weapons to just be put in the hands of any old Joe-so. to do with whatever they want. And this book seems like it might be pretty dangerous. So Parliament is demanding that basically hand it over. But I can't imagine people will be entirely okay with that. Are we really best friends if you don't relentlessly? That's pretty much what the Irish are like. It's cause. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So at this
No wonder
moment,
I'm okay with it. It's literally in my blood.
Yeah. Might as well give this to you now, since we are about to land straight in the city. I am nowhere near as talented as making maps as my nephew is, but this is the map of the city, and as we begin, we will be coming in towards Keepsake Key at the bottom left of the city.
So I just, for those who haven't clicked on that map, yeah, not talented. Okay, sure.
Looks incredible.
Right.
Can I not be talented too? Because like as someone who is actually artistically challenged, you know, I feel like you just walked in and were like, so I took that personally. Just like
an artist. I can't do math. I suck at them. You
This is
want
great.
to say you don't have talent?
Looking back at it now, I wish I'd made the streets smaller, but I can also make it a narrative thing. But anyway, take this mostly as an abstraction of the city and not literals. Like, Nim. So
Everyone just stare. Just stare at him.
as we
Just stare.
look at it words. It's like, what?
if you want this to take 6 hours, I'm more than happy to let you. As this begins, you see a big giant Miro's house to the left. It's early evening. The light is currently off, but it dominates the landscape as you come in towards this little cove in the city as the boat comes towards the harbor, and you decide to look out at the scenery and see this rather massive essentially it's a political city. It's not a business city. It's not a city that people live in per se. It's where a lot of business and commerce and politics go. So people tend to come here out of necessity more than like any sort of residential purposes. But a lot of all the major cultural events tend to occur in this place, except for one exception. The Keisha, the cat people, Lottie's folk, have taken up residence in a corner of the city due to basically being displaced across the continent, and they are housed in a corner bottom left. If you have any questions about any locations here, go ahead and ask. I hand the map out to you as we get close to the key. So as we're docking, so I know Nim is familiar with this city. He might not know all the places because it's a pretty big city. But if Teshi, Lottie, you have any questions about any of these locations, ask away, because I've been here many times before.
My character, I am just stunned because I've never seen a giant city before. So this is all just wild to me.
Does anything catch your eye?
Everything. The market. I like the market.
Market is
Looks
amazing.
interesting.
The market is mostly established by the Aishi due to how vibrant their land is. They have a massive crop. Sorry. They have massive crop yields, and they can export food basically anywhere across the world. There's the city has a direct naval sea route, boat route directly to the Florengard, the Aishi land mass. So it's very easy for them to get that to the market straight from their own land.
Lottie, something you may want to check out at the market, because I assume we're all on a boat talking and kind of in earshot. You may want to check out the market. They have vendors that have a bunch of street food. I personally really like the Hubante corn roast. They take they do a little butter, corn. It's very it's very flavorful, and it's easy to put it on a stick. It's great.
Oh, that sounds great. You can eat walk while eating even.
Yes, and the best part is when you're walk distance, they're all spaced out to where by the time you're about to finish something, you can look over and be like, oh, you're in another stall, and there's more delicious food. It's not super good for you, but oh man, the little fried cakes. After a patrol.
Yes, this sounds great. Yes.
How about yourself,
Being
Tess?
able to give me directions to the library.
I could give you directions. The library is directly up from the Keisha settlement. It is the Librum Sensum University, which is basically where all like major research and the like takes place. It's where you find the biggest libraries, the smartest people, the essence scholars, all those sort of people reside in there. That is to the east. Look at just below the Parliament. You can't miss the fucking Parliament.
Ew.
Yeah, I need to ask about this fried cakes thing.
Look up funnel cakes. For those who are curious what I'm talking about, they're not actual cakes. It's literally like a batter.
Funnel cakes are delicious.
Yes, Tessie. Boy, you have an H. You have an H. I'm so sorry, Tashi.
It's okay. My community comes up with new nicknames all the time.
Are you a denizen of the Midwest as well?
Originally, yes.
So you know about the funnel cakes and how
So
they are.
good.
Why would you fry a cake, you weirdos?
Oh,
It's not
America.
cake, though.
Fry everything. Fry an Oreo. Okay.
No,
Fry an
no.
Oreo.
I don't even
Yes.
like Oreos unfried.
Being from Scotland, guarantee fry everything. It's great. We also
Lottie
fry
gets it.
everything.
Lottie gets it.
I'll need to for everybody's elucidation in the party, guys. I know that we're at Hubante. I've been here a lot. It's where I grew up in a little slum district over there. Not a fun place. It's over off to the north and to the west. You probably want to avoid that if at all possible. I have to personally head to the Paladin Order Hall to report in because we're now here.
We are about to dock. The men are already starting to like pull the sails down and get the boards out so that people can walk off. But before we do so, we bump into a familiar figure who bumps into Lottie of all people because she's just kind of like wandering around, staring at everything, and it happens to be Owen.
Owen!
Lovely Owen, whose well got destroyed back in Erides, and has decided that he
We're
needs
sorry,
to.
Owen.
We really are.
Not really your fault. A big giant obelisk exploded out of the ground and destroyed his. Well, that's still up for debate, I guess. But
It might be.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you really say we didn't somehow cause it?
We
who
might
knows?
have.
Guess we'll just have to find out. So yeah, he bumps into Lottie, falls over. But being as nice as he, as nice and friendly as he is, he just apologizes and. How do you want to respond, Lottie?
I'm so sorry. Why do every time we meet, I hurt you? I'm so sorry. And I help him up. Can I help him up?
No. I don't think you need to do a check or anything for that. It's not like you need to do an agility check to lift a person up off the ground.
You fail and it turns into an anime situation.
So you help. You help Owen up, and he's like, "Hello again, Lottie. What are you guys doing here?"
We're on a journey. I don't know. It's a big city. I'm stunned. My mind's all over the place.
I've been here a few times myself. It's It's exactly the kind of place someone needs to go when they want to start a new life for themselves. And thanks to what happened back in the city or back in the town, I've decided I am going to start off my own construction company right here in this city. It's like if I can't get the work done for other people, I'm going to take charge and decide what I want to build, where I want to build it, and I cannot think of a single better place to begin than in this massive city.
Oh, that's so good.
If you ever come across anyone who you think can help me out or enjoys building a few things, like constructing, or any sort of like looking for any sort of labor, please do let me know. I will try to give my details to the Parliament in case you need to catch me in the future. But first, I need to find somewhere to live.
The embassy street often has various nobles rotating in and out as positions change. And of course, as you know, with the aristocracy, everything has to be a certain way, which means a lot of construction. Perhaps you should go there to take a look. After you've established yourself. I'm sure it'll be profitable.
Out of character for a moment, the 5 colors represent the different nations. It's Kisha. No, not Kisha. Aishi, Erdon, Human, Trellin, and Kisha. That is the pure Kisha, just FYI. They do not have any place on the Parliament, but they do have an embassy just in case any sort of like diplomatic process needs to happen. So that's why they're there. Also, let me point out for anyone who needs a break, there is a beautiful little bathhouse just out of the embassy. I've been there a few times and I absolutely recommend it. It's so glorious, your body will basically shine like a crystal.
Bathhouse means water.
Oh, come on. You're not going to give people the fan service they want?
No.
God damn. Okay, fine.
No inedible fan service.
No, that will have to wait. That will have to wait for a later episode. When the ratings really start dropping, then we'll put together a bathhouse
episode. It's a
episode.
choice between fried cake and water. I know exactly where I'm going.
So we can now
definitely fried cake.
We can now disembark off the boat and continue on.
Disembarking walk.
Yeah, that's the disembarking walk.
I am the loading screen. I'm like the loading screen. So that we can't use we don't have chiptune set up for like transitioning and overworld travel.
Repeated walk cycle. I can already see Lottie's. It's something like.
You think I'm running?
Yeah, Teshi's probably gonna have some sort of like super noble, like confident
a stride.
Yeah, just like I barely look like I'm moving type of thing.
Exactly.
It's just kind of like this.
Oh, and I took your advice, by the way, Nim. I finally have a rucksack for the book. It's tied up in there.
Fantastic.
And so that nobody sees it and immediately tries to take it off my back, hopefully.
As long as it's covered, at least it looks like anyone else's backpack, and most of the stuff in backpacks, especially if they're not nice, is just supplies and not treasure.
So as we get off the boat, a group of serious-looking officials, black robes with sashes across their shoulder, represent in multiple different colors, basically come up to me and request that I hand over the quest log to them. Basically, as I said before, it's not considered okay for people to be walking through the city, through the world with powerful artifacts, and the Parliament has basically said I need to to hand it over.
You did a terrible job hiding this.
It's a see-through backpack.
Yeah, because they wouldn't know anything.
Well, they
Can you
know
just-
who we are, and they've requested our presence in this city, so they know I have the book.
Okay,
Like,
so
So we're only here because they requested our presence.
yeah, okay,
basically, yes.
Okay.
thank you for.
Okay.
I apologize. You know, I want to address these two people. Are they official looking? Are they seedy looking?
They're pretty much just foot soldiers. They're not like any sort of like important people, but they are there on command of the not foot soldiers, but official
Like guards, rank
senators.
and file guards.
They have authority to like take the book off me.
What
Right, I'm-
race are they?
Two of them, they're human.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask for I'm gonna try to interface with them. You talk to them, be like, this person bearing the quest log and the quest log itself is currently under my supervision. I'm gonna present the ring as a seal of authority, which would be recognized in Hubante, to see if I can't get us to walk ourselves to the Parliament, as opposed to being escorted really without a choice.
You can walk the city as freely as you like, but you're not going anywhere through through this place as long as you have that book in your hand. It is just far too dangerous to be even hidden away. This thing is way too powerful to just be out in the open, and we insist that we have to take this off your hands until we can actually sit down and talk to you and figure out what this book is about, where it came from, and what the hell we're going to do. Because you've already seen what happened over in the Paladin Order. The Marshal already informed me that you've been here. I don't know how you got here so fast. Like, you were in another county a week ago, but we've seen you over there, and that place is a mess right now. So definitely get your ass over there when you can. But you are not allowed to enter this city as long as you're holding that book.
I was tasked by the Paladin Order and the Parliament to guard the book. It is not leaving my sight, and the person bearing it has committed no crime. Let us walk to the Parliament. You can come with us, escorting us and getting us through tolls and hallways faster, but that's what I was tasked by your superiors to do.
And my superiors have told us to take the book.
And I'm going to say that I need to speak to your superiors then, because their issues, they don't, your orders don't supersede mine. Now stand not upon the order of your going and get your superiors.
If you insist, but we're going to have to basically walk you every foot of the way.
That's fine.
We are not going to allow you out of our sights. Teshi, Lottie, thoughts?
I don't want to give them the book, so I'm fine with going to Parliament first.
Okay.
Yes.
Question, if I may. Not for the guards, but when it comes to dealing with the guards, right now they are concerned with book, person bearing book, and person.
They're not concerned about us as people. They're concerned about the book.
Okay, so they're just concerned about the book. So, for example,
So if I were to do a stealth roll, could I just sneak my way to the library and find out information?
You could, but they'd be aware that you were gone, and they are not blind.
do they even care if other people, people leave away from this, other than the book?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, do they really care about me and Lottie, or can we kind of like do our own thing while y'all take care of this?
Valid point. As Nim was the one ordered to basically retrieve the book and keep it safe, he's the one whose priority is to send it to the Parliament.
Yeah.
So you two ladies are free to go as you wish. That cat doesn't look like she can harm a fly. So she's free to do what she wants, and I'm fully well aware that Teshi is not much liked around these parts, so especially not in the Parliament. So she can go wherever she wants, as long as she keeps herself out of trouble.
Teshi,
Don't worry.
Lottie, before you guys go,
Yes.
I'd like to write out. I'm gonna write out a note here, just passing this off. Now, this isn't anything crazy, but if you run into anybody who's friendly with the Paladin Order and you're having trouble, show them this note. It says to extend all courtesies that they would extend to me. I can't promise it's always going to work, but most cases it'll help as an introduction.
I appreciate.
So both one for both of you.
Cool. Okay, so we all disembark off the boat. Teshi decides to go in her own direction. Lottie decides to run off somewhere. And Nim is basically escorted, besides the ministers, to directly to the Parliament.
Can I? Are you with me?
Oh, good point. Lottie or Teshi said she wanted to head to the library, and being the booky person that I am, that would probably be my personal preference. Would be to head with Teshi. Because if she needs to find some information, I can probably be of best benefit to her there.
So the book is no longer on you, because that was the thing I was.
No, yeah, okay, yeah. I hand the book over to you inside the rucksack.
I will make sure that this stays in my possession for as long as possible. Just letting you know that I'm looking at you serious at this point. I don't care if they hear like this is because yeah, it's not mine.
Please be careful with it.
I'm not even going to touch it outside.
Okay, good man. Last time we tried that, it blew up in our face. So that would probably be a bad idea anyway. Okay, so let's roll for who's gonna. Basically, we're gonna have a bunch of little mini scenarios, solo scenarios here. Never actually tried this before. I don't think I've ever even seen this done. Everyone basically goes off and does their own thing, but we're gonna do a roll for who goes first. You did not have your dice. I
have mine all in little sets in front of me.
I actually don't know where my own dice are.
Is it a D20 we're rolling?
Yep, of course.
Yeah.
Anything less? Oh, you will need a D10, just FYI.
Okay.
Not yet, but you will need it.
Okay.
Hello, Darelius. We're just starting the adventure. They've just arrived in the city, and the book has been taken off to the Parliament for inspection.
Let's roll. Yes.
All right, I got a 14.
Cool.
And I have a 7.
Okay.
Have a 6.
Oh,
It's not focusing, but
that is okay. So we're starting with the heavy duty stuff.
Oh no.
By the way, we can always switch around, do acts of fate. Somehow royalty gets a +9 modifier.
No.
Okay.
My royalty doesn't count.
That's a shame.
I was gonna say, and for all we know, Lottie might be like a queen of like a long lost kingdom or.
Yes.
that would be one bad kingdom.
Or the best kingdom.
The best kingdom, the kingdom of cats. Like, come on.
With me as the ruler, though?
You could know the Baron from like the Miyazaki film. Like, that'd be great.
Yes, I love him.
Please don't give me more ideas.
I love him so much.
So, Nim, you are being escorted over, and we head first to the Parliament, where it is a big, massive, like, how do I even it towers. Go ahead, Lassie. What?
I would say if I were to describe it, I'm looking at it. It's with cathedral-like to civil service.
It definitely has that kind of large, majestic, like it towers right over you, and the front entrance. Each color, by the way, signifies a different area, like relevant to the different groups: the Trellins, the Aishi,
You said you weren't talented at art. That's fucking fantastic.
I am proud of that one. The side areas, the sandy areas are where the Erdon basically do a lot of their civil services, which is a big part of their involvement in the city. And there's a big, giant gate entrance, massive doors, thrown across a big marble area of the city that's just like this light. It's so bright, the light pretty much shines off the building itself. It's pretty intimidating to look at, but it's pretty much the center of all politics in this world, or on this continent way. And as you approach the entrance to the building, you spot a large Erdon lady, one of the giants, standing at the door. Basically, she is the vice president. Sorry, not vice president, vice minister of the parliament. Basically, second in charge of everything that goes on inside the parliament itself. And she stands there in a large. It's not a loose robe. It's somewhat form-fitting, but it does have an air of authority towards it that signifies like important position. But it's fairly simple. It's just clean and black. She has grey skin and long white hair that goes all the ways down her back, and she's standing there basically waiting for the two soldiers to escort you up to the entrance. She doesn't say anything much as you approach, and looks at you and waits for you to introduce yourself.
Seeing as a person of high authority and probably merit it, I'm going to snap a quick salute off, as would probably be customary for a position of that power. So I just, and there, ma'am, it's Mimicry Slumborn, questing, third rank paladin.
I'm
at your service.
Just FYI, I can't do women's voices, so please excuse me. I'll try my best. It's gonna be she's a very soft-spoken lady, but like she has a very matter-of-factly tone, and I'm very familiar with who you are already, Nimicry. Aurelius, am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Aurelius.
Aurelius has spoken quite highly of you as the Grand Marshal of the Paladin Order, and of all the people in the order, he is probably one of the few people that he speaks really fondly of. Much like myself, he tends to be a very self-serious individual when he's doing his job. So you know that if I have made an executive order, that I am doing it for a reason, and for now I cannot allow you entry into the parliament, but I will need to insist that you hand over the book to me.
It's not mine to give away. It's fate gave it to Lucian Fairwords. I am protecting him as per the council's orders and the Grand Marshal's orders. And my job is to ensure that both Lucian and the book remain as one until such time as the entire council comes to a decision. I understand your concern. This book it needs to stay with me based on orders and based on orders and what needs, and I will say something about based on following the orders until those orders are countermanded. However, if we need to have a discussion about this inside, I will surrender my weapons. As
I would be happy to allow you and your new friends, that's why you would like to call them, into the parliament later this evening to discuss the nature of this book and what is going on. But until then, you can basically consider your commands, your job to protect the book complete, and we insist at the risk of reprimand that you hand over the book to these gentlemen beside me. As a friend of Aurelius, I promise you will get the chance to sit down and talk about all this, but we need to look at the book. You have seen what happened to the Paladin Order, and we need.
Sorry. I understand your concern about this. You also have to understand that the reason this law was created was because there were people who had powerful artifacts and magical items running amok and wild, causing devastation. While this was given to me by a friend, I don't break oaths lightly. I want to stay with this book until such time. Now, if I has to be under custody, that's fine. I'm sure these two gentlemen here have a lovely room that they can escort me to.
You are a stubborn man, Nimicry.
Aurelius probably would have told you that.
Yeah, he wasn't lying. I thought he might have been exaggerating slightly, but no, you are the most stubborn bastard I've ever met. We will allow you to walk around the city for the next couple of hours until sunset, but at that point we insist you come back here with all your companions and talk to us.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm gonna again a sharp salute, this one a little crisper. Thank you, ma'am. Of course it will be done. Please, if you have a chance, issue my apologies to Grand Marshal Aurelius for making his life harder.
That's okay. He's used to it.
So I guess with that, I'm going to turn around, tell the two guards back to your posts, and then I guess have to go wander to find you guys. And I think that is whatever you want to go from there.
Well, you did say you wanted to check out the Paladin Order before we.
I apparently only have a couple of hours. I can get that. I can go to that. I just don't want to be like. I was just given very special dispensation.
Meanwhile, in another area of this city, Teshi and Luthien, she's already got a book in her hand, doesn't she? Teshi and Luthien have decided to wander off to the library for, I actually don't know what Teshi's reason for going here is. But
I want to see if we can find any sort of books that say anything.
Say any.
I'm quest log. Any sort of hint towards that underground ruin that we found. Anything about that king. If we can find anything.
As someone who's always enjoyed books my entire life, to the point that my surname literally refers to my love of words. They're out of character humans in this world. They don't have surnames in the traditional sense. Their names are based on personally identifying interests. For instance, Nim is called Slumborn because being born in the slums was a big part of his life, and it's where he came from, and he identifies with that part of himself. My name is Fairwords due to my love of reading and writing.
Makes sense.
Yep. So, as someone who loves books, I'm pretty sure they do say things. I'm pretty familiar with books saying things. Whether those books are any good, like I've read some really bad Trellin smut that I highly suggest you stay away from. 50 Shades of Erdon.
No.
50 Shades of Erdon, especially terrible. Do not read it. It is one of the worst pieces of literature I've ever seen put to page.
Thank you for that warning. I never want to read something like that.
Stay away from They're beautiful people, but they're not known for their literature. That's all I'll say. I am so sorry. But you're going to have to be a little more specific if we're going to try and discover something in the library. Is there any terms you think we could like focus on, or
anything to do with the mines that we explored?
With the mines?
Yes, with how there was the cavern with the king and dragon and the piece of the book.
So
if we can find something about the mines connecting to a kingdom or something that could lead us to some sort of information.
You're making
kind of like a spider web of jumping for info.
You're making me dive into my document here. Okay, so
you're welcome.
So the history of the mine. Let's check out through the books and see if we can find anything in the history catalogs about this place. So what did you pick as your special, your talents, especially?
So I have perception, insight, and then stealth, crafting, and cooking.
Okay.
The crafting and cooking are kind of just story necessity.
I think a perception check may be necessary here for you to like notice,
actually find something.
Yeah, a book that you think would actually.
Let's make sure this die doesn't roll off.
We are now using levels, so do remember to take your modifier into consideration.
Making me have to remember modifiers.
That is as complex. I'm going to get rid of a lot of things, but the modifiers are basically perception is intelligence. 12 to 13 is +1, 14 to 15 is +2, 16 to 17 is +3.
I'm certainly glad we're not using attack of opportunity rules.
Hey, people with more intelligent.
So we have an 8.
Okay. And what is your wisdom stat?
That's 13.
Okay, so that's +1. That is a 9. So that is definitely not a success. A
wonderful 9, yay!
Yeah, you search through the history documents, but nothing in particular seems to stand out to you as presenting any information about the mine itself. Is there anything else you would like to research up on?
Is there anything possibly on dragons?
Plenty on dragons. But you're gonna have to do another perception roll for that.
We're gonna hope the die will like me this time. Actually, you know what? Since that die was mean, we'll go with a different die. Okay, that one's a 12. So 13 with the +1.
Oh, so that's 14. That is a success. Good job. So you think about the fact that there was what appeared to be the remains of a dragon in the tomb or chamber that we were in a couple of episodes ago with Cinny when you discovered the crown and found out that the quest log could be opened using a dragon tooth. Not really opened, but explosively opened. Not the most subtle approach, but it worked. And you decide to leaf through a bunch of books on the history of dragons on the continent, and one little passage in particular stands out to you where you find information about Dragon's Stand, the giant crater in the center of the continent that I mentioned earlier. And it talks about how the king at the time descended into the crater in pursuit of an unknown artifact, which, according to him, before his death, was in the possession of the last known dragon on the continent. At the time, he was successful in imprisoning the dragon, but it mysteriously disappeared a couple of years later for unknown reasons. Nobody knows. It has not been seen since, and this occurred about 500 years ago, and that is the last known occurrence of a dragon on the continent. The name of the king was King Herod Royalborn. And you remember that is the same name as the king, as the tombstone in Skara Brae. Yeah, she's writing this all down, isn't she?
Yes, yes. I am keeping notes on lore so that I don't forget it.
Don't worry, all this will be put on the wiki as well, so...
I need my own notes.
King Herod Royalborn's army descends into a crater in pursuit of an ancient, powerful artifact in the possession of the last known dragon on the continent. He is successful in imprisoning the dragon and acquiring the artifact. The crater becomes known as the dragon's last stand. That is effectively what happened.
I want to say that it had to have been King Herod that we then saw in the mines.
Oh.
But at the same time, I don't know. But like,
there was two
would
graves,
make
by the way.
sense.
So there was two graves.
Was there?
Yeah, it was Herod and Festin for the names on the graves.
Okay. But it's just the aspect of a dragon basically protecting the dude that was on the throne, and he was holding a piece of the book. So it leads me to believe that would be King Herod, but you never know. Like,
It
was
seems
that
like
his brother that was on the other tombstone?
It does seem like a reasonable conclusion since he was a king, and at the time there is only one king at any one time in the Huon, and this was long before. This was like many years before the Parliament. Like 400 years. The Parliament was created 100 years ago, 110 years ago.
Okay.
Definitely a note taker. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
This is why teachers got mad at me in college, because I asked them to repeat way too much because of how much I write.
Because you listened and learned?
How dare you care
How dare
about
you?
your...
I think they just didn't expect me to actually want to take detailed notes. Like, they thought I would be like 5y equals X years ago or something. Like some weird riddle.
By the way, for those in the chat, if you look down below me, not including the link to the Patreon, which you should totally all check out. If you want to get your own NPC in the show, shameless plug, we do have little news stories directly from the Trellin Direct, which help to fill in like some little information about things that have occurred during the show. And the Trellin Direct is an actual building in the city itself, so you might get to check that out sometime. I've created an entire group of like journalists with like their own unique names as correspondents for different divisions and everything. And they're all Trellin.
Oh no.
Take notes as a trait.
It's a wonderful trait.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Is there anything else you would like to check? I will allow you to check out one more thing. Those
were the only things I was thinking of that could lead us to information about the book.
There is,
because I doubt we could find anything specifically on your family.
You'd be surprised. My grandmother was a fairly established adventurer, and she was the one who owned the quest log. There was a monument set up to her just last week, since her passing, basically to commemorate her adventures and support within the city itself.
Well, you know what? Shits and giggles then. Let's see if we can find something on your grandma.
Okay, let's do a perception check.
Yep. Another
grandmother.
I'm not going to just tell you.
Away.
Like, I've only been
17!
around.
17! The dice love me.
That is like so plus 1. That's pretty much almost a critical success. No, that is a critical success.
The dice said that this was needed lore.
Pretty much. So I decide to. I stand next to you as you start leafing through a book, talking about notable adventurers throughout the years, and I start to tear up a little on the side, like as I notice that there's pictures of my grandmother in her younger days, and her name is Rose Battleborn, just FYI. She was someone who kind of held on to the old ways of the kingdom, but she was not, minus the violent wild, dangerous tendencies that she believed there was ideas in how things used to do it. She was pretty much the equivalent of a barbarian or a berserker, incredibly powerful woman, but
that would explain the Battleborn.
Yeah, she had a love for roses, which she used to grow in her garden, especially after she retired. Her little trademark was that she used to wear a little rose in her hair while going into battle. So it's kind of, that's why I recognize the picture instantly. And the book, sorry, go ahead, Nim.
Question on something. Rose Battleborn was the keeper of the quest log prior to yourself?
She owned the quest log prior to all this.
Okay, I just want to make sure that, because is that common knowledge, or
No.
is that
nobody knew?
Realistically, would the people in power know that, who have control? Because I don't want to metagame. That's the thing. Like when you said that, I was like, oh, I may not know that because of security clearances. You know that because obviously you're.
I knew that because I lived with her. But no, it's complete. I didn't even know about it. I just thought it was a harmless book until I started like glowing in my room.
There's a reason I'm thinking about this.
She kept it entirely to herself. There's no mention of her like owning this book, but she was known for like traveling around the land and being involved in like a ton of important adventures with her friends. She had a group of that she used to travel with. One of them passed away a few years into the adventures, which is when she retired, basically. And that was about 2 years before I was born, about 50 years ago. And yeah, I'm an old man. I'm in my 50s. I don't fight a lot. That's not just because I'm a coward. I'm got a bit, some of the shaky bones. This white gives away my age. And
this is an anime. I'm just old.
She was very respected amongst the people, but there is no mention of any sort of book.
Okay.
In her possession, in the stuff that Teshi is reading. You only know about a group of adventurers she was with. One of them died a few years in, and that is why they retired. Why she retired.
The reason why I'm asking is that there is apparently a law that is very important, that magical artifacts be controlled.
Yeah.
the fact that there was a known magical artifact allowed to exist well and truly outside the purview of Hibante.
It wasn't allowed to exist. They didn't know she had it.
They did. Okay, I was thinking. I thought they might have known.
Nope.
Because of whatever reason.
Kept it completely to herself.
All right, no problem.
Oh, even her comrades didn't know about it?
Nope. And I'm telling you this as Luthien, not as the games master.
Yeah.
Nope. She actually had the sense to hide it in a backpack.
That's a smart woman.
And she didn't teach you these things.
No, she was a smart one. I'm just the one who knows things.
There is a difference between wisdom and...
There's a difference between wisdom and knowledge. Yeah. I'm the knowledgeable one. She's the wise one.
Well, I think that's all we can find for now in the library then.
Cool. Awesome. Meanwhile,
I think I've read enough that let's go get some food with Lottie.
There's at least 3 hours of reading. Oh no, Lottie has to have a little adventure. So, meanwhile, in another part of the city, Lottie is up to something.
I'm just wondering. I have a map. I know I have a map, but I'm an easily distracted little cat person, and I'm just finding interesting buildings and wandering up and looking at what they are, and then going to the next one, because it's a massive city that I've never been in a massive city before, and everything is like
okay. So
amazing.
the way we're going to do this for now is she passed away a couple of weeks ago. Like in world, I'd say it's about a month that happened. It was probably about a week ago since we found the ruins in the town. So since the last episode, so about a month ago, she passed away. Actually, do you want to know why she passed away?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, because it's not something I really talk about. There is a disease in this world known as essence atrophy, which is basically when your body stops connecting with your essence, your sight, your sound, your taste, your touch, and slowly over time it just fades away. You lose your sight, you lose your hearing, you lose your ability to feel things and see things and smell things. Eventually, basically, results in the final like just like passing away. Think of it like magical cancer, I guess. Not to get all dark and stuff, but she slowly succumbed to it over a number of years. She was well into her 80s at that point. It's common enough. It's not common, but it does happen to people, especially in older age.
Sad.
I'm sorry you had to watch her go through that.
That's okay. It's she had her time. She did a lot of good stuff, and that's all I guess any of us can hope to do.
Still, that had to have hurt. Didn't she raise you?
He did, but I understand, like, we all have our time. Nobody lives forever. So you
That's
kind
a
of
really
just
wise way of looking at it.
you shake it off and you keep moving and read a lot of books. So Lottie, the way I'm going to do this is 1 hour, you have 3 hours to look around. 1 hour for each place you want to check out. So where do you go?
Where do I go?
Where do you go?
I guess I started the market because I was interested in the market. So yeah, I head east.
Lottie joins a brothel by accident
Oh, no.
and earns
Oh,
the party a bunch of money.
Is there a brothel?
Probably, probably in the slums somewhere. Big fetish for cat girls, as far as I've heard. Like that's definitely a thing people are into.
People want to pet the fluffy tail.
Different kind of fan service.
They want to pet the fluffy kitten, Lottie.
They want to pet the fluffy tail.
Yeah, they want to pet the fluffy kitten.
When life hard, you stroke the furry walls.
Furry walls.
Is this going over Lottie's head again?
Greek?
I know. Feels like I am too innocent to be hearing any of this.
I don't believe any of this. You're so full of crap. Okay, so you check out the market, and first thing you notice is Owen looking around for equipment, basically, like hammers and saws and what have you, to start up his little business, because everything got destroyed when the obelisk, including the few tools he had like under there to fix the waterway inside the waterfall when it exploded in everyone's face.
Well, I immediately like, Owen, hi.
Hi. What are you doing around? What are you doing around here? I'm going to guess it was probably the smell of all the fish.
No, cake. No. I was told there's cake here.
I'm not much of a cake man myself. I prefer the good old fish from Fisherman's Few Marcus. It's those guys have been cooking that stuff for decades and know how to make it. If you want some good food, I would highly suggest checking out the Little Mountain Inn up outside the market. That is where the best food in the entire kingdom can be found. I'm trying to find some tools, but I'm a little short on money since I didn't get paid for my work because it never got finished, and those political bastards are like, you didn't do the work, you don't get paid. So
pay you? How much do you need for tools?
I would insist against it, but I'm not a one to look a gift corgi in the mouth. So
how much do you need for tools? How expensive?
I would say about 10 gold. I would probably get me a decent hammer, some planks, a nice sign for the door. You can't have a business without a sign, right? It's if you don't have a sign, you might as well not be in business, because nobody's.
I have 6.5 gold.
Oh boy.
That could get you most of the way.
It could, if we know how to barter with people. But there is a casino up in the slums. If you would feel brave enough to gamble away. Gamble?
It's a casino.
Yeah, it's up by it's just at the edges of the slums. It's called the Seven Snakes.
Seven Snakes. What do you what is a casino? What do you do?
You spend money in the hope of getting more money.
Well, that sounds good.
Totally legitimate businesses. They wouldn't do anything to try and scam you guys. That's me being out of character for him. Owen doesn't think it's the best idea, but
he suggested it.
Well, he did suggest it, but he doesn't think it's the best idea. He's just saying if you don't have enough money, it's the only way you're probably going to get it. Quickly, anyway.
I do want to help you, and I don't have enough. I only have 6.5. Not enough.
So what are you going to do?
Well, I want to help Owen, so I have to make money somehow.
Okay, cool. Okay, I guess we're heading to the casino then.
Yes.
So you and Owen head to the casino. You walk past the bridge, past the inn, over along the farmstead, across the beautiful Healing Hands Hospital, which is an Erdon establishment where they use magic, essentially, not magic, essence, to heal people's wounds in ways. Around the walls of the Parliament Square into a very dodgy looking building that's just about holding itself up on the very edges of the slums. For those who haven't seen the map, who came in a little later, here is the map to the city. If you didn't notice, Lottie, it is up at the top of the slums.
I see it.
Okay.
Yeah. At this point, I'm kind of looking around going, I think Nim said not to come here.
Well, Nim is all about the virtue and the loyal, or not loyal, lawful approaches, and it would be questionable to say what these guys do is lawful, but it is potentially an option to earn money quickly if you're very, very lucky. So
I said to avoid the slums, not necessarily the casino.
But
It's close to the slums.
It is
though.
basically on the edges of the slums.
Yeah, that's I just throwing it out there. You don't want to be caught in back alleys.
Yeah, stay away from those. Unless you're trying to make
Very all bright, and there's lots of light.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's safer.
You see stars when people crack you on the back of the head.
Would you like to head inside?
Yes.
Okay, so you and Owen head inside the casino. It is a fairly large building inside. It's got some lavish curtains and chairs and tables, and it's a very marketable contrast from the rough exterior. Looks very expensive, as if the people running this place have made a lot of money, which is quite interesting considering it's housed in the middle of the slums. I thank you, Darelius. I made that myself. I have issues with the design that I would love to change, but I think as an abstraction of the city, it turned out pretty well.
He finally didn't insult it.
It only took like 45 minutes for him to start accepting his abilities as good. We're breaking new ground.
Character
A
development.
lot of progress. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You posted that right as I took a drink, Nim. I nearly choked.
Oh no.
Sarcasm. My name is Nim.
No, it's something in the chat.
Owen Shipwright, brother is called Rowan. The Archer cousin is called Bowen. You know what, Nim? I'm gonna make that happen. That is lore now. Lads, they've been trying for 8 years. You've been trying for 8 years, and they did it in 10 minutes.
Well, no. Maesty set all the groundwork. All give credits to Maesty. No efforts we would have done here would have been helpful if not for Maesty. So let's take some time to be like, way to go, Maesty.
Way to go, Maesty. Trust me, I will revert because I'm an anime character. All my character development will be reset by the end of the episode. Okay.
No,
Rowan and Bowen. Rowan and Bowen are going to be involved in later story. That is official. Stop giving me lore name. I can't keep up. Jesus Christ, you're writing more of the lore than I am at this stage. Where were we? Okay, Lottie. If I had set this up sooner, I would have actually loaded up. What's it called? Tabletop Simulator right now and actually done a mini game with that. But since this is completely out of the blue and I only had 2 days to set everything up, that's not going to happen. That will be a thing in the future, though.
I do have tabletop sim for future gambling.
Beautiful.
We're going to go with a simple roll dice for this, but in order to win, you have to roll a 12 or higher instead of a 10. So what is your... There is no luck. What is your dexterity stat?
My dexterity? Oh, it's 18.
Okay, so that'll give you a +4 to any roll you get. So that will give you a good chance here.
That's a good thing.
I do not remember that name. So
it's the dice in the bowl.
The sailor is flowing.
Oh.
God damn it. Sure. Sailor is flowing. Make a song out of this, like a limerick. There was a good shipwright called Rowan, and he had a cousin called Bowen. I'll figure out the rest of
no meter, so it's absurd and with ether. So let's get a ride from flowing.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Good improvisation there, Nim. We're going to play a little game of blackjack while you are while Owen sits and tells you the rules of how this game works, and you somehow you're like now super attentive and manage to absorb all the rules pretty much instantly. You do notice one individual who slicked black hair, with a small white streak just off centers ever so slightly, and he seems to be incredibly jubilant, which seems very out of character for someone in a casino, because they're usually getting robbed of all the money, and he seems to be winning a lot of games. He's just off over to the corner doing his own thing, completely oblivious to you. But it's hard not to notice his jubilance throughout all of this. But for now, you are going to have to focus on your own little game and see how well you can do winning a game of blackjack. How much money are you going to put into this? If you win, you will get 3 times whatever you put in.
3 times?
Yeah.
God.
Okay, so we need 10 gold, and I have 6.5.
Okay.
So if I put in 2, I'm down to 4.5. 2 times 3 is 6. That would give us just enough gold for Owen. So 2 gold.
2 gold. That is smart. That's good maths.
Smart.
Well done. Okay, so are you ready to roll the dice or play the cards and see if you can win?
I think I have chosen a good dice set. I've gone for my neon, my really light green one.
Can we
so
see?
here's
Can
hoping.
we see?
You want to see it? This one's kind of yellowy. It's not the best one to show for the set. This one's probably better. It's got kind of a yellowy green.
That is very cool. Very lossy.
And a bluey green bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if it
Nim
serves
literally
me
has
well.
cards.
Prepping for anime draw.
Okay, Nim is going out of character. He's going to be an NPC for a moment and is going to
the dealer.
he's going to be the dealer, the card dealer, not the drug dealer.
All right. So, Miss, you placing bets?
Yes.
All right. How much gold you placing?
2 gold. 2 gold.
2 gold. All right. Set 2 gold on the table for me.
Okay. Clink.
Okay. Clink. All right. Anybody else playing? Nobody else is playing. Okay. Bets are now closed. Set down. So let's flip, and I'll send you 2 cards.
Okay, we're not actually going to play the whole rules here. You're just going to roll the dice and then win or lose.
I'm doing the care.
Oh, that's not oh no, that is a good start. I thought it was a 6. It's a 9.
The 9. Okay. Plus
I feel that.
Thank God you got a dexterity bonus, because that would have been a fail otherwise.
It would have been a fail.
Because you're so dexterous and so talented, you managed to flip exactly the cards that you need to basically get a perfect 21.
Yay!
All right. Well, congratulations to the pretty cat lady. Okay, who's up next on the things? You want to keep playing, Miss? After all, you might be on a hot streak. We got more fun stuff.
Oh. Yes, more.
Oh God, Lottie.
All right.
Oh, no.
Suddenly, Word barges in the door and drags Lottie out of the casino. No, he doesn't actually do that because... No, God damn it. Are you really going to do this? Well, you already committed too late. You already committed.
Yeah, I'm committed.
Okay, how much?
On the table yet?
I'll do 2 gold again.
All right, 2 gold. Okay, anybody else playing? 1, 2, 3. Nobody else is playing. All right, bets are in, and it's time to slide you 2. Shuffle the deck. Slide you 2 cards. Go from there.
It is a 9 again. It focuses. There we go. That is a 9. It looks like an 8, but it has a dot on it. So
Yeah.
Christ. Okay. So go on. This is out of my control at this point.
All right, looks like we're gonna slide some more gold to there. Make sure that everybody, looks like we got a bit of a hot streak. Our wonderful little Catwoman friend here is having a fun time. Let's see if she still keeps on playing. Do you want to keep playing
As
this?
you do so, the man with the black hair and the little white streak decides to come up to the table and also wants to play his luck. And he puts down 25 gold.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right.
So,
Sarah,
in order to win this one, to win your gold back, you will have to get a 12. To earn his gold, you will have to get a 15.
Oh, okay.
have you agreed to play though? Because you haven't agreed to play yet.
Oh, this man. Oh, sorry. The man comes up and he's like, "Go for it. Show me the cards, and let's see how this goes."
I will bet another two gold. 2 gold.
All right, 2 golds on the counter. All right, all bets are in. All bets are in. It's time to go. Flip, 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 flip. There you guys go. Check your cards. Dealer stands.
Ooh, 13.
Fucking Christ. Owen stares at Lottie, or sorry, not Owen. Owen stares at Lottie in disbelief because he's about to become a millionaire if this keeps going. But the young man with the black hair, stares at you mystified because from his experience, nobody ever wins when he's at the table. And this is the first time he has ever seen anyone basically beat him at any game ever. He gives you a kind of I wouldn't say it's an angry look, but it's definitely a frustrated and disappointed kind of feeling.
Meanwhile, I haven't noticed. I'm looking at Owen. Owen, how much did we win? How much did we win?
He turns away and walks out of the casino, leaving you with your money.
How much did I win on that last one? Because
75 gold.
75, and then and
yours
and mine.
How much did you put down?
I put down 2, so that's 4. So 79
no,
gold.
That's 6. That's 6. It's 3 times the amount.
Oh yeah, 6. So
you get masterwork tools basically for Owen.
I'm not doing the math. Don't ask me.
81.
I would like to say though, for the casino guys, come on up. We have a big winner. Our good friend Miss. What's your name? Latius, okay. Latius, big winner. Enjoy your stuff. And remember, guys, thanks for having fun at Seven Snakes Casino, also formerly known as the Vision of Active Casino. That's right. Formerly known. We recently have new owners.
Vision of Active?
Yeah, Vision of Active. We had some very eclectic owners before. Seven Snakes works so much better.
Definitely. Out of character, all credit to Lottie for coming up with that name. I basically forced her to name the casino. So, fucking love it. Okay, 75 gold. I feel at this point you're pretty much used up all your time. So the sun is starting to go down. You can stay here if you want, but I feel like it would probably be better to go back to the party. Before you leave, Owen basically takes the 10 gold that he requests from you.
I can give him more. I feel like I would want to give him. I want to give him some more.
I would feel terrible. I'm just a lowly man trying to make a place in this city, and I could not insist on taking that much money from you.
But I would never have known about the casino without you, and I don't need that much money.
True.
You're starting a whole business.
Masty, ladies and gentlemen, when they want to announce your name as a high winner in the middle of a casino, I recommend you give a fake name.
Good point.
Bunch of people might be looking out for you, Lottie, because you seem to have a knack for this.
Even more reason to give the money to Owen. Well, not all of it. I want to give him 20.
Okay, so how much are you going to give him?
I think 20 gold. Double what he wanted is enough to get his tools and then get started too.
Cool. So that leaves you with how much?
I haven't worked out exactly how much money I have.
You can hold on. You can figure that out after the show. But
I took notes.
You have a lot of money.
Yeah.
You have a lot of money now. Okay, cool.
My last win is down to 61. We'll just say
Good
basically.
stuff.
I have at least
Okay.
61.
So you and Owen part way, and he's off to get himself a big, giant, massive, crystal infused work hammer, so he can make the best buildings that the world has ever seen. Thought it was going to take a few months for him to get there, but Lottie's like, let's speed up the narrative with gambling. Yeah,
High dexterity is good for gambling, apparently.
exactly.
What you're saying is that gambling mechanics in games can work out in players' favors.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
Mhm.
So, where should we all meet up?
Market.
Sorry,
Market's pretty big.
I was going to insist, actually, now that I think about it, Nim did mention wanting to go to the Paladin Order. So it makes sense that he's probably waiting there. So Lottie just wanders around until she finds a big churchy-like building. Whereas Words helps Teshi find her way there, since he's already familiar with the city. And we all meet at the steps of the Paladin Order, which Nim has already been here a couple of weeks, or 2 weeks, a week ago. As you already know, big obelisk took out like the front area, like the wall, caused a lot of damage. It's a lot of that has been repaired now. It's structurally sound. The obelisk is in more of an upright position now. It's still stuck in the ground. Nobody's been able to like move it, but they have been able to center it a little, so it kind of just stands there to the side of the building, just climbing up into the sky. But the general order has returned to the place, and soldiers and paladins are going about their business as we reach the steps.
I'm gonna start in medias res, if you don't mind.
Immediate what?
In medias res, middle of the scene.
Go for it.
As you guys come up on me, I start telling, hey, remember, grab supplies from the supply sergeant over in the left courtyard. We're gonna use that to reinforce the wall. Then I need to make sure that we get these workers chow, because they're working for us. We need to feed them. We said we would. That's part of it. Also, make sure the stipends go to the families. You know what we're talking about. Oh, hey guys. I want to hold up the pack with word to at Lucy and be like, you know, just hold it and shake my head like
it's still safe. Thank you. Can I take it back?
I said I would hold on to it until the meeting. Just
fucking politicians. Fine, if that's what they insist.
It was a fight, Lucian,
yeah,
to keep.
I have no doubt of that. I've dealt with a few of those guys in the past. Just getting funeral arrangements for my grandmother was rough.
But yes, I was waiting on you guys to get here. I have to report in to. I left the Parliament building, it wasn't a great time. I almost ended up in a jail cell. Luckily, they were like, I guess you're already a paladin, so you kind of live a life of prison in some way. You're fine. So I had to come back here and I have to report into the Grand Marshal. He would probably be interested in knowing who's traveling with this artifact.
As you mentioned that, you see nothing. You see nobody else but Aurelius himself bouncing, walking down the stairs. I can't imagine bouncing in Paladin.
You got to be real happy. Like you had to help like 7 orphans that day to get found. Like,
definitely,
it's real good.
And that's going to be, you're going to be Steiner from FF6, just clank, 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 every single step. He almost has that kind of presence himself. He's a big, dominating man. He's the Grand Marshal of the Paladin Order basically means he is the leader of basically the entire order as it stands. Isn't that correct, Nim?
Yes. Yes, yeah. He is the leader of that. For those who wish a little bit of backstory on that, the Grand Marshal is equivalent to a general, but often they defer to the leading Habante military because it's kind of a separate, more sectarian thing.
They can't supersede the law.
Yeah, I would say if you really care about it, there's a whole list about ranks that I chopped up there that I think I did a pretty good job on.
You did. I'll be getting that up on the wiki at some point, so feel free to check that out.
But I'm seeing. Do I notice Aurelius?
Oh, well, that's entirely up to you. He's kind of hard to miss. He's clanking down the stairs in self-serious fashion. He has a smile on his face. It seems to be a fairly serious presence, but noticing you, he does like smile a little. And
I'm going to snap to attention and issue proper military orders as the literally textbook perfect salute. Boom.
Appreciated, Crusader, but we have a long history together. You don't need to be so formal in my presence, as long as you don't tell those guys up at the Parliament.
Sir, the other side, the other soldiers.
The other side of the bridge, yeah.
The Council of Marshals always says that you're far too lax with military discipline in garrison, and while I think that some of them are... Anyways,
I think I'm just too lax with you, Nim, because you're still walking around with that book, even though...
I made a word. I promised, sir. I promised. I'd follow in your orders. I promised that I would take care of this. And we are reporting to the Parliament, because I promised that as well. Good
stuff. I have known Rita. That's her name, FYI, Rita, with a H. She does not like if you get that wrong. And she's a good lady. Her intentions are always in the right place, even if her methods are a little too serious. So I
to come into the city and be accosted by guards.
They're just going by the book. It's I know the book is not your. I know you prefer to throw the book. And do what needs to be done.
The book is fine. My traveling companions, and I want to gesture to you guys. Come on over here. My traveling companions are not used to such order and discipline. much of the free spirit type people. You know, you remember the ones with the guys we got to perform at the Habante ceremony, the 100-year Parliament ceremony. We had those musicians and artists, and it was a fun time. But after a while, we were like, let's just get back to drilling. And
I do recognize that young lady with the pointy ear. She's kind of known for not appreciating authority. The cat lady is not familiar to me, but
I noticed that Nim saluted, and I don't know this guy, so I go, hi, sir. Hi. Do like a kind of double
trying to stay hidden behind words this entire time.
I walk up and respectfully shake his hand and introduce myself. I'm Luthien Fairwords, and you guys may have known my grandmother. She spent many years not working with the Paladin Order, but helping them and assisting them in different excursions throughout the years over the continent. And I basically tried to explain to him that this book belonged to my grandmother. I was not aware of it until a couple of weeks ago. So I would have turned it over myself if I had known about it, because magical books are not my forte. Even if I can't translate any language in the world, which is I tend to stick with the ones that don't explode in my face. I hear paladins are good at that, especially this Nim guy. Dude can literally turn himself to stone, which is kind of a cool ability. But I will defer, as Nim has done such a good job of keeping us safe. I will defer to his authority in how we will go forward with this book, and
So
ensure that the Parliament allows us to keep it safe.
Lucian, are you telling Aurelius that?
I'm telling Aurelius all this, yes.
So we're all there. All right. Well, I appreciate your faith in me on that one. I'm doing my best here to carry out the Grand Marshal's orders and, of course, the Parliament's orders. The thing that we need to at some point here in the next few minutes get going so we can make it to the Parliament. As I said, we show up for that. It was one of the reasons why I was able to be paroled with the quest log. But Grand Marshal, as far as I'm aware, after I'm done with Parliament, if you need to, I can stop back if there are orders or we need a debriefing.
I don't. We're going to have to see what the Parliament says about this book first. But I do have one request for you before you leave. There's a little lady by the name of Cora Yarntwist down by the market. She runs a place called the Twisted Skein. And I probably pronounced that wrong, and Masty's probably about to kill me. Because this character. And she is probably the most talented tailor on this entire planet. She has reinforced every piece of armor that exists in the Paladin Order, including the gear you're wearing right now.
I'm familiar with some of her work by name, if not by sight and practice.
So I think you folks should head down to her before you head to the Parliament. I will, if the Parliament doesn't like this, I will tell Risa to fuck off herself, personally. But these folks are clearly not prepared for any of this, and they need all the defense that they can get. So please head down to her and give her my regards. If you're lucky, you might get a discount.
Absolutely. I'll head there and insist that my companions here decide to go with us. It's Cora. It was Cora. You'd said
Cora Yarntwist.
Cora Yarntwist. Okay. All right. I will make sure.
She's a little green-skinned Trellin with purple hair. You can't miss her. It's also like the brightest, most colorful shop in the entire city. So.
We've patrolled past it, and I think that's where all the festivals get their adornments done.
Indeed.
For the banner.
Chances are, if you've worn something, she probably made it.
All right. Well, I'll after we're done here, I'll absolutely take care of that. If you can, sir, as a thing, there are some new before I left, there was a new batch of aspirants that were getting ready to go out on a mission. I put in the requisite paperwork for them to be reassigned, but as you know, with giant, I address obelisk, there may have been a problem. If you could help expedite that paperwork to make sure we get these troops out in the field.
Absolutely. You want them to personally check out these obelisks themselves?
No, I don't want them to check out the obelisks. I just want them there. We still have those missions over in the farmland where there were raiders and bandits. And as you know, if we don't get food, nobody eats.
Yeah, valid. I'll get onto the farmstead and talk to the Aishi and see what they can do to get some supplies.
Quick briefing there, sir, on this. This may not have come across your desk yet. It was handled lower order. We were sending out some aspirants to go basically act as muscle to prevent bandits from raiding farmlands. And you know
what it's like. There's 500 things going on at once, and
I'm busy. You manage a whole order.
Especially with this whole giant obelisk thing just popping up on our doorstep. It's like.
Indeed. Okay. Well, with that, sir, I will be off. At this point, I'm going to reach out to shake his hand as a thing. So
take care of yourself, Nim, and
thank you, sir.
Be good. Keep those kids safe,
sir.
And that old guy.
They're all wonderful people. They're all wonderful people.
I'll take your word for it. Okay, so we wander off to Cora's place at his insistence. I'm going to let you go wild here. It's a beautiful little shop with a sign out the door that looks like a piece of yarn, like endlessly twisting like a infinity symbol, in beautiful colors, all made out of like fabrics and different types of cloths hanging from the front door. What would you like to do?
I assume the shop is open.
It
Right,
is,
like
of course, yes.
All right, I'm gonna open the door, I think.
Teshi, Lottie?
I guess we go inside since that's what we were told to do.
I thought Lottie might like run in and chase after a ball of yarn or something.
I am very much staring at the giant sign. It's caught my attention.
Good stuff. So as you walk in the door, where are all my notes? As you walk in the door,
Actual definition of Lottie, like, ooh, wee, yay.
As you walk in the door, you see a small trellin about barely 4 feet in height, sitting in front of a table. Clearly, the table's quite high, so clearly she must be sitting on a really large stool, just holding a crochet stick in her hand, just knitting away at whatever it is that she's working at. She looks up at you as you walk in the door and just proceeds to go back to whatever it is that she's working on.
I guess I'll take a step toward. I'll step towards the table and politely knock on the table.
Sorry. Say that again,
And
ma'am. I got distracted by Lottie staring around the place.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm going to walk up to the table, politely knock on the table, and ask to speak to Miss Yarntwist.
Miss Yarntwist. She will very much appreciate that. Hello, young sir. What can I help you with?
Yes, Miss Yarntwist, I presume.
That would be the one and only.
Okay, I was my name is Crusader. I'm Nimicry. I'm Crusader with the Paladin Order. I was sent here by Grand Marshal Aurelius to help outfit these 3 wonderful people here. And I also, as a special note, thank you for increasing the padding on the shoulders. I remember when I first started, it used to rub something fierce.
Well, I insist on making things look and feel as good as they are functional, which is honestly a talent in itself. It takes so much work trying to make all these things together and put all this amazing detail and ensuring that it actually has enhanced properties itself. As you already rightly know yourself, the process of making things more durable has a large history in the use of essence to blend it into the yarn itself to improve its physical and dexterous properties. And she just continues to waddle on and on and on about the entire creative process of making gear, even if you're not paying entire attention, as Lottie definitely isn't.
He's super not.
If I Yarntwist, I appreciate the
yes.
I appreciate the expansive knowledge on all of the processes of making things, but we do actually have to keep an appointment with the Parliament, and apparently this might not be a fun one. So,
Mr. Aurelius himself has already informed me that you guys will probably be popping over, and your timing could not be better because supplies have been a little disturbed recently since the obelisks have basically pushed the entire trade system in array as everyone tries to figure out what's going on, and certain routes have been taken out. So I can't speak for your other companions, but you seem to have experience in traveling the world and discovering things. So I could really use your help in collecting supplies that would be useful in allowing me to develop gear for the Paladin Order and potentially even for yourselves. You will have to pay, but otherwise, I might give you a small discount. I still have to make money, you know. It's
if I help with the crafting, could we get a discount?
You might be able to help a little there, young lady, but I no offense, nobody in this kingdom can top my skills. But I will allow.
I could never achieve your skills, but I have had to do it my entire life, so I can at least help a little bit.
That is true. I may allow you to assist in some areas. We can discuss that as we. If you manage to help me pick up some ingredients, she hands you a bunch, 10 little notes with like different details on like where you can find stuff and what kind of ingredients you need and what properties, what materials will increase different properties. This is something I will give you notes on after the show. Yeah, exactly. Those two notes. Just stick them. Just stick them on Nim's armor. You can just
okay. I mean, it's fine. I'll
just go like this. Like
exactly.
Here we go. We're good. We're good.
So
crap.
How this is going to work in game is when we go out into the overworld, Masty, herself out of character obviously, Masty has created a large series of side quests that you will get to choose purely by rolling a dice. And those dice
be
will
the never-ending quest log if we didn't have side quests.
Exactly.
Random
and
quest.
as we travel from location to location, you will be able to roll a dice, randomly do those quests, pick up her resources, and gain permanent stat buffs to your gear.
Nice. Okay. Well, Miss Yarn Twist will absolutely assist with that. As I don't think Grand Marshal Aurelius would have sent me here if not to do that. He tends to send me places where he's like, get it done.
She claps her hands together and says, I expect good things from you, gentlemen. Please do let me know in the future if I can help you with anything, and let me know as soon as you find any of these resources, especially mushrooms. Those are really hard to come by nowadays. And I do like a good soup.
Ma'am. Just nodding, like as in agreement with ma'am.
Lottie Teshi.
Still looking at Yarn.
Lottie hasn't
What
even
is your
like
favorite type of soup?
mushrooms. Well, actually, I don't know. Ask Masty. Masty is Cora. This character is effectively Masty. So if you want any trivia, you ask Masty. Mushroom yarn dye is not soup. Well, I've obviously been drinking the wrong thing over the last couple of years then, because I freaking love that stuff. I say that in character to Masty. Am I not supposed to drink that?
I have a yarn.
You do have a yarn.
First.
Oh,
yeah.
Cora looks at the yarn on your shoulder, and immediately her eyes start glowing, as all Trellans do, and they become like immediately like heavily involved in their like creativity. It's like her mind is like exploding with ideas. And she's like, "Can you show that to me, young lady?"
What this?
The ball of yarn on your waist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why,
Have a
thank
green
you.
one.
This is a very fine, beautiful piece of work. I have not seen yarn this conductive in a long time. She's like staring at it. Her eyes are like bright yellow. And I feel like I could probably infuse this with essence to a level and degree that you've never that is not possible with like usual equipment. So please, if you get these resources, come back to me and let me play around with this. I might be able to help you unlock some unique properties.
Sure. I can't make anything. I don't know how. I've just been carrying it for days. I didn't realize it was special.
It's very special. It's this sort of yarn has not been seen like in decades. So I won't take it off you now, but please do come back. Please.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll put it in my backpack then instead of on my waist, so keep it safer.
Awesome. Hide all your weapons, folks. That's the rule of this game. Because it's a magical artifact, apparently. So nobody.
It was weird because like the guards were pretty on it about a book, but like an openly displayed piece of.
It just looks like a piece of yarn. Like only Cora, like because she's a child, only she can see that like this is like something quite special because she can pick out all the little tiny details in like every single thread. It's almost like the essence is like conducting throughout the whole thing, like aether in an object essentially, or essence in this case. Okay, so we need to head off. We need to get to the Parliament. Time is running out. So thank you, Cora. We will definitely be back to you in the future. If we succeed in finding some of these resources. Okay, so the sun is already starting to set as we head down to the Parliament, blowing off the rocks building with an orange radiance, almost like a halo coming off the building itself. Yeah, magic choir starts singing out of nowhere. Wait, was that Nim or Pesci?
We're all great going. That was Pesci.
Okay.
And me.
I just thought Nim could go really high there for a second.
A falsetto.
Oh, as high as I can.
Oh.
Once again, the good lady, Vice Minister Rita, is standing at the door, patiently waiting for you, with her hands behind her back, silent as always as you walk up to the gate, and just looks at you as you wait for her to address, or as she waits for you to address her.
Ma'am, reported as ordered. Boom. Nimicry, Slumborn, and my traveling companions with the package.
Well, you didn't blow anything up in the last couple of hours, from what I've heard, so that's a good sign, at least.
As Nim introduces us, I do curtsy.
Okay. I do insist you turn over all your weapons before we head inside.
Sounds about right.
Okay. And seeing as not many people come in here, I do also need to point out that within the building there is a anti-essence barrier that will basically not allow you to access any sort of abilities or unique properties that you may possess. Are you okay with this?
Yes, ma'am. Procedure is procedure for me, at least.
Young ladies?
I am totally fine with that. Thank you.
Okay. I detect a hint of sarcasm from you.
No, I'm saying that in all seriousness. I'm allergic to essence.
Okay, that's unique. I haven't heard of that before. Young cat lady?
Are there animals in here?
Well, there's other cats. Well, okay, they're not animals. That's rude of me. There's a few, not many due to their general hostility, but there are a few quiche in here. But no pets.
Oh, well, then it's okay.
Okay, cool. She guides you into the building as people open the large entrance door, and you feel a kind of fuzzy feeling as you go inside.
It makes my teeth hurt. I assume I'm not going to be able to do the Lucian. Based on that description, I'm probably not going to be able to become metal in here, right?
Probably not. No, definitely not. You can try, but it'll probably cause you a lot of pain.
So I'll get used to it in a bit, but just on edge.
Trying to get rid of those golden teeth before he heads in. Oh. So if you punch your teeth, do they turn into like platinum?
I don't know. All depends. I haven't really tested getting punched in the mouth. Normally happens up.
Good stuff. You can feel like you've gotten a little weak. Like it's more of like a mental block on your head than any sort of like physical ailment. But you don't feel like weaker or disoriented. It's just kind of like a haze that's come over that part of your mind. It's your ability to access that sort of thing. So she walks you up through the main entrance, through a side door, and this leads into the main parliament area, which is just a big, large parliament room with many chairs scaling down at each side. And right in the center, there is a very modest, simple table, no real adornments or anything like that, other than a simple logo on the front of the parliament and a slightly adorned chair. It's a nice chair, but it's nothing extravagant. And she guides you to sit down on the chairs in front of the table.
I want to ask Teshi a question, because Teshi's royalty. Teshi, did you ever address any type of large governmental gathering, or do so often outside of like celebrations?
I never had to address them personally, but I have gone to many events of the like.
Probably reluctantly, from what I know of you.
I'm gonna be honest.
So.
To be honest with you guys, this is the I'm whispering to you guys more than her. This is the ladies escorting more to you guys than the lady escorting us. But this is the first time I've actually been in the parliamentary hall proper. Even when I got promoted to Crusader, that was done at the Paladin Order hall. Nothing fancy here. So it's very. I guess this is where all the decisions happen. It's a little weird to be in that type of place.
This is where we.
Yeah, the first time is normally a little weird.
Yeah. She sits down. She gets very by the books lady. She sits down at the desk, looks at a bunch of notes that have been scattered over the table, which appear to be discussing the quest log and the recent findings with the obelisks, and waits for all of you to take your place in front of her.
Now, are we sitting down at the table?
We are sitting down just in front of the table. Just it's a bunch of simple chairs, nothing fancy.
Y'all will probably notice that I am very reluctant to actually sit down, and I keep looking around to make sure it's okay before I do so.
Lottie?
I sit down, and I have no reason to suspect anything wrong yet. So I'm relaxed.
I'm surprised you're not rooting through your coin purse and counting all your money.
Oh, I'm riding that high still. Nothing else is going through my mind.
Cora's going to be happy with you, I bet. You're going to make her rich. So
I don't get mocked.
The good lady Aretha looks up from her papers and talks to you in a very formal and direct manner. We've heard recently that you folks have come in contact with a potentially very powerful book whose appearance has conveniently coincided with this strange manifestation of dangerous obelisks that have just popped up across the continent. There is absolutely nothing in our records of this material that can even identify what these things are, and we have no reason not to believe that, for whatever reason, this book is directly tied into these obelisks. And we feel that allowing you folks to keep in possession of this could be a dangerous threat to the lives of the people on the continent. And we have very little information on some of you. That how do we know that you don't have bad intentions to do things with this book that may not be beneficial to people or may cause harm?
I guess I'm gonna let Lucian. Shouldn't you be the one to answer?
Good point. I will stand up directly to start off, because I am the one who owns the book. So I basically explained to the lady that I only knew about this book a couple of weeks ago, and it belonged to my grandmother. So she politely points out, we have absolutely no records in any of our catalogs and documents of anything of this sort ever existing. How do we know that you can be capable and responsible for this? Your grandmother had a good history with us. She was always a good individual, but clearly she was keeping secrets from us that she wasn't entirely willing to share. And I'm starting to think that maybe this book might have been responsible for her partner's death in the first place. She was adventuring for a couple of years before with us, and then they all just stopped and retired. And why would she keep this from us? So,
Lucian, if I may help with that.
Oh, you're all free to speak, by the way. You don't have to. Go on.
Well, Lucian, your grandmother obviously had this book, but counselor, is counselor minister? I forget.
Vice minister.
Vice minister. So you're asserting a couple of different things here, all of which are without any type of proof. Now, the law, as it is written, is to stop dangerous magical artifacts. In order to prove that this quest log is dangerous, you have to demonstrate that it caused something. And we all know the story about the dragon spire staff and and the various swords and things that cause it. We know it because we can assume we saw what it did in the hands of evil people. If this was an inherently dangerous object, me walking around town, around Hubante, the capital, it would have had a problem. Me going on a ship would have had a problem. It would have, a novice mage, a novice with very little magical talent, would have caused a problem. Instead, nothing. You're just asserting that something's bad. That would be like me saying that because I have a hammer, this is bad. Well, what if I'm a blacksmith, right? That is an act of creation. I say we should be able to explore the causes of the obelisk and give answers. I'll chop up detailed reports for you all, and we can go from there.
Before the Empress of Sini returned to her capital, she did inform us of everything that occurred on the island, and alongside Teshi, I look at Teshi, give her the eye, a kind of like disapproving look, and you, good lady, are already aware that this book has destructive tendencies, are you not?
Only if you actually do something to it. Like, I literally went to stab it with a knife. I literally tried to cause harm to it. It causing harm back to me is just protecting
And the
itself.
simple fact that it could cause harm to people.
We did nothing. We did nothing with the obelisk. Like, for all we know, that person that we escaped from created those obelisks. This is
completely off the book here. I think you people are perfectly okay. It's not you that I don't trust. It is this book. The potential for this thing to cause massive destructive harm. It was hiding in the place that basically destroyed half of the island, Startland, and completely took out Skara Brae. So logically, that would dictate that somehow that destruction was caused by this book, considering how deeply hidden it was, how deeply hidden the things in the cave were, and according to the visions that were seen in this book used to be in this place. So it does not seem reasonable to me that anybody should be allowed to hold on to this book. I agree with you all that this should be kept safe, but if we can't even study it, if you don't even allow us, if you won't even allow us to have it.
The question about studying is, what manner is study going to take? You're concerned that it is a dangerous artifact and that you want it to be studied in a manner that is productive. Allow me to present a hypothesis. We have an issue with obelisks. The Paladins are currently working on trying to solve that. This book is one of the biggest clues, if not directly involved, tangentially involved. So let's solve two birds with one stone via sending out. I will take this book along with anyone who will travel, and we will discover the source of these obelisks and what is causing these distortions. And if we go far away, it doesn't matter if it's destructive, because you're telling me the wastelands and the hinterlands now have another barren patch? Okay, well then I become a lesson to the Paladin Order, and my friends fade into history, and an artifact is destroyed. It's not... Us figuring this out is a win-win for Hibante. We either understand something, or the problem solves itself. If it's as dangerous as you're postulating.
I agree. I agree with you for the most part, good Crusader, sir. But we have a unknown, the words, entity in this situation, and as I say that, as she says that, she basically looks at Lottie, and just Lottie gets the hint that basically she's talking about her.
Talking at me.
Doesn't like me?
It's not that we don't like you, it's that we don't know who you are.
I don't know who I am.
I mean, you say that, but how do we know you're telling the truth?
Because I have the winds of truth. It may make me sick if I use it, but I have used it, and she is who she says she is.
Unfortunately, as you know, you were not allowed to use abilities inside this building, because if people were allowed to use things like that...
We have been traveling around with her for these past many of weeks, so I have already used it on her in the past. It doesn't matter if I can use it at this current moment in time. She has not told a lie to me before.
But how do we know there are not elements in her past
that she doesn't remember?
That she doesn't remember. I'm very distrusting of an individual who says that they don't know who they are, and they just happen to come in contact with something so powerful and unknown.
So,
what if the book is calling to her to help her unlock those memories? She could be a key to finding it out, and we just don't know it. The book has brought each one of us together for one reason or another.
That was quite profound, Tashi. I won't lie. Good job. Okay.
I like it.
We have facilities inside this building that can look at the book. You've told me in the past, or sorry, no, you've told me, Cindy have told me in the past that you were able to open this book and it was quite damaging in the process. If you allow me this evening, I will allow you to come with me into this room just to appease this self-righteous paladin over here.
I'm sorry. Self-righteous is probably in the job description. You're making logical fallacies, Vice Minister. This is called a correlation causation fallacy. I know that you learned that in the Hall of Politics. But your position does merit respect, so I apologize for speaking out of turn.
Apology accepted. You can either allow us to look at this book for the evening and we can go from there. I will allow you into the room as we do this, but if you don't, I am basically going to have you arrested.
Lucian, that's up to you. This is your thing. I said I'd keep you safe.
I want to hear what these guys have to say.
How are you going to look at the book?
We have facilities in the back. Aishi can basically hold the energy in place that the book manifests, and we don't have any dragon teeth, but if we look at it for long enough, we might be able to figure out another way to more safely open the book. Pesci's smiling.
More so, I just don't know if the Aishi can actually open it. Because the only thing that's been successful so far is literally a dragon's tooth.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know any Aishi that is as powerful as a dragon.
No, boss. You did pick up a dragon tooth, Teshi.
I also have one.
Oh, Lassie has one too.
Point. That's not the point.
Are you willing to hand over those teeth and allow us to check the book?
No. No. No,
you can spend 10 weeks in a jail.
tooth.
You can spend 10 weeks in a jail cell if you want.
You can have my spare tooth.
Okay, that's.
But I already have one being crafted into a dagger, so I kind of can't give you that one. It's with the blacksmith.
I never thought the estranged daughter of the Durgans would be the one to actually cooperate, but miracles do happen, I guess.
It's because I'm estranged that I'll cooperate.
Vice Minister.
Yes.
Perhaps it would be in the interest of politics. Perhaps it would be wise to do two things. One, to not insult the person who's helping you, even by implication. And two, if we're going to go look at this for an evening, let's hypothetically say we do that, where exactly will this be? Because right now in this building, we can't access our essences
back
unless
in the very back of the building, we have rooms that basically can contain essence within a small area, and instead of like allowing it out within the room, we can hold it inside this field so that it doesn't cause any like serious external damage.
Okay, so like a cell, but it's reversed.
Exactly. It's a cell that holds the essence instead of shutting it down.
Just making note of things. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you agree to allow us just for this evening to look at the book?
Just for this evening.
Okay, just for this evening. Please
Can we have that written?
You have the full consent and acknowledgement as the Vice Minister of the Parliament that my word shall be set in stone.
Well, I'm inclined to trust you, Vice Minister, as Grand Marshal Aurelius has mentioned your uprightness. You're ready to get.
I'm not going to forget that one, good sir.
Oh, well, I listen. I'm just here, passing messenger.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I'm going to give the book to Lucian Fairwinds.
I hand it over to the lady, very reluctantly, but I do hand it over to her. Here we go. It shudders slightly in my hands as it moves away, and the lady also turns to Teshi and your dragon tooth, please.
Here you go.
Thank you very much. If you would follow me.
Hopefully it doesn't rebound on you guys.
Yeah, hopefully not. She guides you to the back of the room, small little door. It's completely nondescript. You walk through that door down a bunch of corridors. Long, just like there's no signs or anything. It just goes this way and that, and eventually you reach another nondescript door, which opens up into a very large facility room, full of crystal, basically like stained glass windows, which, based on the colors, would suggest, and the way they shine, would suggest that they're again infused with essence that tends to radiate throughout the room and basically fill it up. And everything is deeply colorful. You see people in long white coats messing with random things in the corners. Trellins, Hewans, even Keisha, for some surprising reason, is in the corner messing with some experiment. And there's a big table in the center of the room. She takes the quest log, it's more of not a table, flat, what do you call those flat pieces of like marble?
Slab?
A slab, thank you. It's like a big slab in the center of the room, and she puts it down on that slab, and immediately a barrier appears around that area. She can still put her hands in and out, but it doesn't stop her from entering, but it does, like, it's designed to block out like the essence from escaping from that small area. And she calls over a scientist and basically hands him the tooth. The scientist turns to you and asks you for any information you can provide on how you opened the book in the past.
Once I tried to pry it open, kind of like a crowbar type of thing. That didn't work. It sent me flying backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon tooth, I just tried to jab it in as well.
Okay, so
but it was more successful.
Okay, so from that, I can infer that the stick, you touched the pages, right? You tried to like push open the pages.
No, I was trying to just get the cover. Okay, I didn't want to damage the pages themselves.
Push the cover open. So it did work, but it was highly explosive. The other time, you just stuck the dragon tooth into the book.
Yep, basically.
Just kind of hit it. Okay, so clearly that doesn't work either. What if we slowly try to like slide open the pages with the edge of the tooth, like put the tooth under one of the pages or the cover and like push it up slowly with that?
That might work as long as your hand doesn't get near it.
Does anyone have a stick?
Somebody has knitting sticks.
I know someone does have a stick.
I still don't have my sword.
Lassie, you have a stick.
Do I? I don't. It's
Your
not in
ball
my
of yarn
eye.
is attached to the end of a stick. Remember?
Oh right. Oh right. I guess I have it. Yeah, I have a stick.
Okay. It's got a weird piece of yarn attached to the end of it. I guess we'll just go with that. He basically gets the toot and just sticks it on top of the stick, because the shape of the toot is like so like worn out on the inside. It basically like sticks onto it almost like a spearhead. And the scientist guy basically looks at you like, any of you want to do this?
Well, I did it the other 2 times. If you really want a guinea pig, I guess I can again.
Third time lucky, right?
Unless Nim here with his strength wants to take a jab at it.
You still can't use your abilities in this room.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, if there was a place I'd be fine.
The essence only exists within that small space.
Okay. I'll be a guinea pig if necessary.
I have a better idea. How about we roll a dice?
Yes. All right.
Who's going to be the sucker?
All right. We going higher on this one.
I was gonna say, is it high or low?
High. Oh, good point. Lowest does it.
Okay, lowest number does this.
I don't know if that's gonna focus. Nat 1.
Oh gosh, and that one
10,
14.
14. Jesus, a 1. Wow. Good job, Nim.
Beautiful. When you need to roll low and a nat 1 pops up.
I barely. Oh god, my heart sinks. My heart sinks.
So okay. I'm going to. The scientist hands the stick with the dragon tooth at the end of it. Be careful of Lottie's yarn, by the way. That shit's that stuff's precious, apparently.
Yeah, it's sacrosanct.
Yeah. Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna slowly put the tooth at the top. So I'm gonna reach in the barrier with the tooth in my hand. I'm gonna slowly, just barely wedge it in there gently, and then try to use the stick to drag it on the yarn slowly to see if I can't get it to separate one page from another, basically.
As you do so, the book crackles similarly to how it did before, electricity around the edges, but it does not explode in your face. It has like a slow, softer energy to it as you gently caress the edge of the book with the stick and the tooth, and finally pull open one of the pages in a way that does not cause any harm to anyone. As you do so, a series of letters start appearing on the page.
Ooh. Okay. I'm not an expert in the arcane. Perhaps someone could look at this?
As you move away are you going to move away from the book?
Yeah.
As you move away from the book, the letters start disappearing.
Oh, okay. I guess I have to stay near the book then.
Okay.
I'm gonna holler at people to be like, somebody get an ink, somebody get a quill and a
just
pad.
That way, the book is kind of held up at like a slight angle, like this, like it's propped up slightly so you can see it, like as if you were reading it. You can, the words appear in your language normally, and they say, "Defend the weak and forgotten, and you will find the Titan at your back."
Defend the weak and forgotten, and you will find the Titan at your back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's scientists. We weren't expecting cryptic, but we have cryptic now.
Mm-hmm. As you move away from the book, the words disappear from the page.
I haven't left yet. I'm just hanging out there for a second. Did somebody write that down?
I think everybody wrote that down.
Okay, just check. All right. Apparently, if I back away from this, we're gonna have a problem. So, all right, I'm gonna slowly now back away from the book.
We don't know what it means, but clearly it's trying to tell you something.
I'm getting that.
I'm going to do a perception check, and depending on if I actually get like a 15 or something like that, will I actually fully explain it?
Okay.
Because I don't trust the die.
But what is the perception for? You have to.
Basically, to try to connect dots because of the fact that when we each went through the obelisks, we each went to our respective homes.
Okay.
So if perception works, then it would be me then wanting to see if each of us walking up to the book, if it says something different. Because that definitely more so sounds like something directly related.
What is your
them.
intelligence stat?
Ooh, that's a good thought.
Well, you don't have intelligence. You have wisdom.
Yeah.
My wisdom is a 13.
Okay, so that's a +1.
Okay.
So, no, we'll go with the same rules. It's 10
one?
first. It's 11, a 10 first, or 11 for success.
As I hate the fact that these dice went next to each other because I don't know which I rolled anymore. Fuck it. We're just gonna. When you don't know which die is which, so you just roll it again. Fuck you, die.
God damn it, Teshi.
I'm sorry. The die said no just now.
I guess it,
Stay.
so
Okay.
it's still a title.
Well, it got me a 12. So
12, okay. So
13?
that is a success. So as you see the words yourself appear on the page, you realize that this description sounds a lot like the man that you have been spending the last few weeks with, that he is a person who looks out for other people as best as he can. And you come to the realization that these words must somehow be connected to his life and what the kind of thing that he is seeking in his own existence as an individual, almost like it's his own personal quest.
I have a thing. Can I hypothesize something to the group?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Teshi, this was your tooth, right? This is your tooth, your dragon tooth.
Yeah.
What if, this gave me a message. What if you do the thing I did? Will it give a different message?
Yeah, we can always try.
What would you like to find
Let's
out?
see if the book may even stay open with you walking away.
Let's find out.
The pages kind of rustle slightly, but they don't close as he moves away. The words simply disappear.
Okay, well then I guess I slowly walk up to the book then.
Okay, cool.
+1 for lack of explosions.
What's that?
So we're +1 on lack of explosions.
Right?
Rita's basically just standing there in a corner with her arms crossed, like just watching you intently. She's not saying anything, but she's keeping an eye on like what's occurring at the moment. So as the Teshi approaches the book, new words appear in colored, like beautiful orange letters start appearing on the page. The soothing sounds of success will ring out in the footfalls of your estranged home. Do you need me to repeat that?
Sounds of what?
The soothing sounds of success, the love alliteration, will ring out in the footfalls of your estranged home.
Well, that's definitely different than what I got.
Just a little.
Yeah. Just a tad.
Yours definitely is more of a tongue twister.
Facts. Don't say it two times fast or anything of that nature because you'll mess up in the second time. Heck, one time fast, you'll mess it up.
Deeply mystified by the curiosity of this, I decide to approach the book. like see what Teshi is writing, and another series of lines appears under hers, and it says, "The eye will see you through the mist," suggesting that as I approach the book, this is something that is relevant to me. I have absolutely no idea what this means. It doesn't resonate with any knowledge that I personally know, so.
The eye will see you through the mist. I assume, are you reading it out loud by any chance?
Kind of like you're all kind of just like looking at it. Okay. But I do kind of mutter it like under my breath, like, just to acknowledge what it says.
I'm like the mentor in training, as we were calling my character. I am actually writing everything down.
Yeah, that's what a sensible person does.
Imagine not memory for important information.
Yeah, definitely with me around, don't rely on me to remember any. I only remember things that were in books. Anything else?
So if I write it down, it's therefore in a book, so you'll remember it, right?
Don't know if a piece of paper, a bunch of papers count as a book.
If it's full enough.
Well, then somebody needs to talk about the free association exercises of some writers I've read, because they definitely.
So there's only one unaccounted individual in the room right now.
T.
I couldn't see properly from where I am, so I kind of popped my head round to see the book.
Okay. As you do so, a fourth line of text appears on the page, since everyone is basically around the book now. And it says, "The dark and hidden roots of your past will bring generations of people together."
Oh, that's not going to help us, lady. Trust me.
Well,
it says you're bringing people together.
Dark and hidden is not good.
Silver lining out of this.
It's a shame that Cindy couldn't join us, because I'd be very curious to know what it said about her.
What was the end of mine? The dark and hidden roots of your past will
bring generations of people together.
Generation. Okay. Thank you.
That isn't ominous at all. Lottie is like animosity. That's not a word.
Anonymous.
Anonymousness wrapped up in a cute ball of yarn, effectively.
The harbinger of doom.
Add 30 grams of paprika to the broth and let stew for 40 minutes.
That's great. I like that too.
So, watching this, the good lady Aretha walks up to you. Nothing appears on the page as she approaches it, but she is very curious about what has just appeared on the page and how.
I step back.
You step back. Oh, yeah, Lottie does not approve. The words swiftly disappear off the page as you move away.
I just don't think that she would approve, and she doesn't trust me already, so.
Okay, so.
It's understandable.
Rita looks over the book and just starts like stroking her chin, just thinking to herself, trying to figure out what she's doing here. She is a serious lady who takes her job seriously. Great depth of words there, Michael. Vocabulary, that's the word I was looking for. But she's not opposed to stretching, like she's not opposed to bending the rules if necessary. She is ultimately just looking out for the people, doing what she believes is right. And as she sees these, she looks over towards Nim. Despite their conflicting attitudes, she can sense that he also feels the same way. He just wants to do what's right for the people, and she waits for you to basically make a suggestion to her, appeal to her better nature.
All right. Vice Minister, we've established here with the help of a dragon tooth the associate, my friends here, and the scientists, that this book has power to at least give cryptic messages. Now, while cryptic messages might be dangerous in the hands of teenagers, we're all here at least somewhat competent than that. What I'm going to suggest, again, my previous suggestion is we should try to figure out something relating to these obelisks, and now we have another piece of information to go on. Apparently, as a paladin, I'm supposed to defend the weak, and I'll find a titan at my back. Now, you know the paladin order. That's one of the things we do. When titans, maybe not so much. In our history, in ancient times, there were some things about that, but defending the weak, we do that. We justice and all that. So I think we should take this with us. And again, of course, keeping you abreast of all developments.
I'm going to introduce this new element here, and this is an NPC dice roll. If you wish to request it, I have the history trait, and I can tell you what I believe the Titan may be referring to.
That sounds actually cool. If you can, I'm so down for it.
Yeah, so I need the approval of everybody, though. I am willing to do a history dice roll to potentially provide some information like that I gleaned. It's an NPC dice roll, I call it. With your permission to see if I can glean some information about what this Titan is.
Why not?
Okay, so fingers crossed. Let's see how this goes. 11 success. Oh wait, what are my stats? You have a character sheet. So yeah, guys, within the story, I may be the GM, but my character is an NPC within the story. It does have statistics that can influence the plot. I've made sure he's underpowered as possible. Effectively.
He does have a very nice scarf.
Does have a very nice scarf. Knitted by Cora, by the way. I should have pointed that out. This was created by her. It's very pretty. Made of dragon scales. That shit's rare. Okay, let's try and do this without making too much. What is my intelligence? My wisdom stat is 16.
I thought you got rid of intelligence and just combined it.
I keep saying intelligence when I mean wisdom.
All right.
My wisdom stat is 16, so that is a +3. Okay.
I'll tell you this: that while you're rolling, intelligence is the ability to know that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom knows that it is the ability to know that a tomato does not belong in a salad or a fruit salad, and of course, charisma is the concept of salsa.
And
Sure.
Hey.
I got a 10 +3, that is 13. So that is a success. So where do I have this is very important. The great thing is I made up a word that doesn't exist, so it's very easy to 2 seconds. Why can't I find this? It's because I spelled my name wrong. Theql. No. Teckle.
That's why. Wards. Mickle Wards. Yeah. It's all spelled wrong. It's like, that's not right. That's close, but not right.
Where is this? There, found it. Awesome. So back in mythological records, I recall this from all the books I've read, there is this belief in a system known as the recreation, which is how people believe that the world was created. And one of them refers to a giant titan, Arsenian the Promethean. He is the patron. Each essence has its own patron, like deity that people believe in. There's no proof that any of these actually exist, but the myth goes that Arsenian, the Titan, the patron of kinesis, touch, descended on the planet on the first day, and he was declared that he walked the continent and basically obliterated all life on the planet, like killed everything. The entire Earth was covered in red, in the blood and destruction of everything that like ever existed before he was created, and soaked in the blood of his devastation. And that is how effectively the world was recreated from all the harm that came before. And this is like the most prominent name. There is if you look on the Habanta or Arpegia map, you will notice a red giant object to the north of Habante at the edge of the wall, and that is basically it's basically a tomb that was created in his honor. Nobody's ever been able to enter it, but it is the only like known historical reference that this it's where all the myths came from, essentially.
Okay.
And it's just a giant, massive building in the shape of a giant titanic creature. Out of character, think of the Celestials.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Doug.
There's a bit of trivia from you, courtesy of Luthien. What about you guys? Do you have any thoughts on your messages?
Yeah. That I'm gonna be honest with you. It's good to know. I remember hearing something similar to that in lecture halls at the Paladin Order. They didn't quite go into the detail about the laying waste to the entire world. But you know,
humans generally try to forget that part of their history. You know, the thousands of years of warring and devastation. They try to put that at their back, and I don't feel like teaching that would be conducive to like creating an order of chivalrous people that don't want to hurt. He's a bad inspiration. Let's put it.
Yeah, I was saying because I got I performed outstanding in that class. I got the marks for it, but that was not mentioned.
Nope, it was not. You gotta look really far back in like the crazy conspiracy books and religious texts for all that. Teshi, Lottie, any thoughts on your messages?
I'm now worried about because the vice minister didn't trust me because she doesn't know my past. I've never been worried about my past, but she put the thought in my head, and then my message is dark and hidden roots of my past.
Mm-hmm.
Now it makes me kind of worried. What was I before? Like, was I mean? Was I similar to how I am now?
Would you like me to do a roll and give you a tip?
I mean, can you?
The history roll. Basically, I look into my knowledge of history to see if I can glean like any sort of insight.
Sure.
Cool. Okay. We roll 11 plus 3, which is 14. We're good. Okay. So I'm thinking about the Keisha history, and I decide to point out to Lottie that, as you know, I assume, the Keisha are basically divided into two separate civilizations. One is the pure Keisha, which are the ones that have existed for thousands of years. They look like they look more animalistic. They can run on all fours. They have full bodies of fur, like lions and tigers and that sort of thing. And
bears,
then,
oh my!
What?
And bears, oh my!
What?
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my!
I have no idea what that's referencing.
Wizard of Oz.
I have not seen Wizard of Oz in like 30 years.
Oh.
I should probably rectify. That was an entire coincidence, I assure you. Clearly, that was sitting around in the back of my head somewhere. And then we have the new Keisha, the free Keisha, who are the ones that have been rejected from the Keisha society for not looking like you, not looking like their previous people because they're more human looking. And they have like just simple features like a tail or ears, but are generally human in appearance. And they talk about different generations, and if ever there was a generational divide, it's the contrasting civilizations of the Keisha people. So maybe it has something to do with that.
Maybe.
So maybe we might want to seek out a few of your kind and see what they can tell us. Okay, Teshi, finally yours before we wrap this up for this evening. Would you like me to?
Like I'm going to have to do something with my family.
You already figured this one out yourself. Yeah, you don't even need me to roll on this one.
It's kind of straightforward and kind of not at the same time, because I'm like, it's either that success comes from me needing to work with them, or the fact of maybe they stop treating me like a dick when we get success because of the book.
What about the mentioning of the soothing sound of music? What could that possibly be?
I thought you said soothing sounds of success.
Sorry, the soothing sounds of success. Sorry, yeah.
And that's what I was saying. Like, it's either that success happens and it just like goes throughout my family's house where they actually accept me, because I would assume that has something to do with me, or it's that success comes about because of doing something with my family.
Imagine your family not being a dick. Just imagine.
My character cannot.
You guys have no idea. Like, wait till you find out. It's some juicy stuff.
I have let him in on so much lore that you'll find out.
I love being the guy who knows all the shit that's going to happen and not telling anybody.
It's great.
Yeah, it's the best part of doing this. So I think that's pretty much everything. Rita takes you over to the corner of the room and basically like it's just like looks. She's like 7 foot tall. Remember, she's an Erdon. She's not a human, so she's got a pretty imposing presence, even for.
So I'm literally going like this.
Yeah, pretty much, and she basically says to you guys this. There are clearly things involved with this book that it is trying to tell you specifically. Nothing appeared when I tried to approach it, so it feels like this book is trying to communicate with you. And knowing this now, I feel that if we took the book off you, we may not actually figure out what is going on and why this might be involved with the obelisks. So I'm going to talk to Aurelius myself personally, and I will ensure that everyone understands that you are allowed to keep this book in your possession for the foreseeable future. And I, under the request that you try to figure out these messages and see what they are referring to.
Sounds good.
Good stuff. Okay. It's
player to DM question though, real quick.
Wait. Okay. Go on.
Was there any particular order that the sentences were actually appearing in?
Only as you walk towards it. As you walk towards it, they appear. As you move away, almost like
So,
they disappear,
like-
almost as it's reacting
Like
to.
when Nims disappeared, did his reappear lower on the list, or did
Oh,
it reappear?
it's pretty much in
directly where
order. It
was?
fills out as like
Okay.
so.
Okay.
It writes in whatever space it has, essentially.
I was just making sure that there wasn't some weird particular order that it was happening, that it's just random.
Going to request that the paladin or that the minister provides all of you with at least 50 gold to help you out on your journey throughout the world.
Funny.
I heard all that jingling in your pocket, little cat, but I'm still going to give you the 50 anyway, just because you've grown on me a little. You're she gives you a little pat on the head, and basically bows to you politely.
I return the bow.
Sets you on your way. And far more importantly, since we are using the milestone system, everyone just got a level up for the first time. You've leveled up, everybody. Sure, let's
Right now.
Wait, how our character pose is in battle?
Oh,
Are we
God.
like?
Do we have to? Do we all have to come up with a fiction? Okay.
Everybody has pants on, right?
Time to come up with. This is my victory pose.
It's fine.
I open the book and basically start reading it. You try and glean more knowledge. What's Lottie's victory pose? Okay, it's obviously. Oh, Nim's gone to get props again. Teshi, what's your
I
victory?
don't have a bow and arrow, so I can't really demonstrate it.
rectify
But it
that,
would basically be me holding bow, arrow in this hand, and then I basically twirl the arrow, put it back in my
Of
quiver, and
course.
just sling.
It's like a ranger version
Oh,
of. Do you do a fancy
Yep.
clouds swirl with the arrow before you put it in your back?
Yep.
Okay.
I just kind of swirl it.
I feel Nim is prepping himself. Come on, Nim, show
It's
us.
Nim.
So get his shield.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frog from Chrono Trigger, basically.
Yes.
But with
Yeah.
a giant.
God flexes his muscle.
Oh, of course. Okay,
There we-
so
Do.
we will let you go after this, but you do have to do your stat things here. So how this works is your HP increase is your Constitution modifier plus whatever you roll on a 10 dice.
Ooh, where did I put that?
And that will be your HP increase.
What is our base HP?
Oh yeah, your base HP.
I have no idea what mine is either.
I'm pretty sure we set up
10.
yours.
I didn't get a solid number.
Did I not?
We did
Oops.
9. Mine was 10.
Let me check this very quickly.
I thought mine was 11, but then you're like, that seems kind of low.
It is low at the start.
As I'm a ranger rogue, so I feel like mine is probably
We have
low.
no. By the way, just FYI, we have no dual class, so it's just one.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
So, Paladin base HP. What's your modifier, Nim?
Right now, it would be +2.
Okay. Your level 1. Your base HP would be 12.
Okay, so let's edit that real quick, just so I know that, and then I can add. And then I would roll
Roll a 10 and you add that plus your modifier.
And so, all right, cool. I got 11.
Whoa.
Yeah,
No, you have to roll a 10 dice.
yeah, it's a 9 + 2.
Oh, wow. Okay. Beefy Nim.
Well, look, I'm
Yes,
prepping for fan service
really.
episode when I can get in a towel, because we're doing that episode where we do the thing. It's gonna be topless Nim,
towel around the bottom.
Okay. You also get to add 1 point to 2 stats or 2 points to 1 stat.
When you say stats, are you talking about skills, or are you talking about
your base stats like strength, constitution?
So I can add 1 to 2 or 2 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this. I'll get that handled.
Okay, cool. Teshi, you want to roll for your HP?
Well, what's my base HP as a ranger?
Yeah, sorry. What's your modifier? Constitution modifier?
A 1 since I'm at 12, right?
Yep, yeah, would be correct. Your starting HP would be 1. Or sorry, 11.
Damn, that's so cool.
Yeah, 11.
I am so squishy. I start with 1.
Sorry, 11.
Okay, and then I roll. I get like no HP increase. I rolled a 1.
Well, you do get a 1 onto your modifier, so that's a HP increase of 2.
Yeah. So I'm at 13. I'm still kind of squishy. It makes sense because I'm sickly.
That's pretty rough. Won't lie. Lossie?
I think my starting HP was 10. We decided.
Yeah, and your modifier is.
My constitution is a 14, so that's
plus 2.
Yeah.
She's a very meaty cat. It clearly eats way too much catnip. Yeah.
I rolled a 2.
A 2, okay, so that's 2 plus 1, that is 3 HP.
So I'm at 13?
Yeah.
I'm kind of squishy.
Nim bulking up there while everybody else is kind of squishy. I will do my. Oh yeah. So you can change the stats off show. That's fine yourself. I will trust you to do that. Increase 1 stat by 1 or. Sorry, 2 stats by 1 or 1 stat by 2.
And how did you say you're doing the bonuses again?
What do you mean?
Like the +1, +2, yada yada.
You can either add 1 to 2 stats. You this is basically D&D.
No. With rolling, because I don't remember what you said earlier.
I'm not following your question. Oh no, this you just decide yourself. You can either add 2 points to 1.
Not with our actual stats. I'm saying when you roll like a whatchamacallit check and you get like a +1 modifier. Your modifiers.
Yeah, what about them?
Like, it's a +1 with 11 to 13 and then +2 with 14 to 16? I don't remember the numbers.
Whatever your base stat. Are we talking about just increasing your stats here?
No, just talking about
the modifiers.
I got.
Oh.
So what Words was doing had the 10, 11 plus 0, 12, 13, 1.
Okay.
14, 15, 2, 16, 17, 3, 18 plus 4. And then I don't think anybody's at a 19 or at a 20. I don't even know if it's possible.
Here's a quick list of the modifiers. If you are under 10, you actually get a minus modifier. FYI.
Okay.
Why is Lossie giggling at that?
Sorry, just minus is not good.
What is your lowest stat?
My lowest one?
Yeah.
My charisma is 7.
Oof. That is
At least my
minus.
lowest is a strength at 9.
Yeah.
My strength is also 9, but it has a -1.
I have no negatives now. Very few positives, but no negatives at least, so we're good.
I don't remember Nim's stats. Cool.
Is there a high roof for how high stats can go?
20.
My dexterity is 20 now.
But part of me is tempted to just remove that rule and just fuck with the balance and let you guys go wild.
That let Lottie get, +7 to every roll at a casino. And we're like, why does she keep winning?
So Cine is currently very busy trying to move home right now, so her appearance on the show will be very sporadic for the foreseeable future. These 3 folks, though, have agreed that they're going to come on every second week up to the end of the year. So we will have all 3 of them every 2 weeks until December 11th. That will give us a lot of time to like really go wild with this. The Never-Ending Quest Log is a talk show, podcast, and video series focused on discussing the latest RPG news and revisiting the classics with a bit of a tabletop RPG twist. You can catch us live over on Twitch, or you can check us out on YouTube and every major podcast platform. If you enjoy what we're creating here, please consider supporting us over on Ko-fi. You can find us on all these platforms just by searching for No Word Count or the Never-Ending Quest Log. Take care of yourselves. Stay beautiful.